Hi guys, June 8th, Courage to Change. Step 6 speaks of being entirely ready to have God remove all my defects of character. Yet I find that I often cling to my defects because they give me a certain amount of pleasure. What defects could possibly give me pleasure? Revenge, for one. I spend lots of time creating mental scenarios in which I punish those who have hurt me. I also get a great deal of enjoyment from thinking that I'm never wrong. In other words, I cling to my pride. Yet these characteristics are defects that get in the way of living the kind of life I want to live and prevent me from treating myself and others with love and respect. There is abundant reason to let them go, but to do so, I have to become willing to lose the enjoyment they sometimes deliver. My recovery will have a giant void as long as I am unwilling to give up my shortcomings. If I want healing, I must turn over my will and my life and my character defects to God. Today's reminder: are the small temporary pleasures I get from my defects of character worth the price I'm paying to keep them? If not, I may be entirely ready to let some of them go today. Okay, so this is interesting. A lot of people that I've taken through the steps, when they get to this step, are you entirely ready to let God take, all your defects of character that you just realized you had in step 4? A lot of people consider some of their character defects survival tools. And I understand that. And so a lot of people have been like, I'm not sure if I'm ready to let all of these go. And I always say, would you be willing to at least ask God to help you be willing? You know what I mean? It's the willingness that's the key. So I understand that some of these things, I love this example that they give right here about, I spend lots of time creating mental scenarios in which I punish those who have hurt me. I do that too. Like little conversations. Like daydreaming in my head. I'm going to run into them in the store, and this is what I'm going to say. And they're going to say this, and then I'm going to do this. And it's always a big dramatic, where I come out looking really good. And I really told them what for. You know what I mean? So, I get that kind of thinking. And sometimes it's really quick thinking. It's in one ear and out the other. Something like that happened today. In fact, the neighbor here, I'm helping this woman here at her house, and she told me she had a discussion with her neighbor about cutting the hedges. The hedges were way high and out of control. And in California, you get these bougainvilleas, and they kind of climb. And so it was really tall. So the two ladies had a talk. And my friend is 76, so she's older. And she said, well, I'm going to have my gardeners cut and the woman next door said, well, they're not my bushes. They're your bushes. And so she said, really? She goes, yeah, I don't have bougainvillea on this side. And so my friend said to me, I help her with a lot of stuff, right? And I'm kind of her, I champion her causes, right? So I came over and I talked to her gardener and I said, hey, listen, would you go ahead and cut her bushes? He said, sure. So he cut them, but he cut only hers. And the other woman did have bushes on her side. Half of them are hers, even though she didn't think so. So here we are, looking at this, and one side's down and the other side's, wild 6 feet up. And so today we finally saw, I picked up my friend to take her to an appointment, and I was going to go help her get her prescriptions and things like that. And there's that woman. She's outside. We never see her. So we stopped, and I rolled down the window and I said, hey, as you can clearly see from our side, we cut down half of the hedges, and, go ahead and, like we discussed, go ahead and cut down your half. And she said, those aren't mine. And my little friend said, well, walk over into my yard and you'll clearly see that they are yours. She goes, no. And I could see the woman just didn't want to cut them. So I said to her, listen, if she pays for it, can we just go ahead and have them cut? Because they really bother her and they block her view from her bedroom. And she said, no, don't cut them. Which to me, all of a sudden I want to be an attorney. That means that she knows they're hers, because she said, no, we couldn't cut them, right? I'm ready to go to court. And I was so mad because I hate it when people dismiss my friend because of her age. She's a brilliant woman who's done so much with her life. And she's just a little itty bitty thing with a cane, you know what I mean? But she's had a full, abundant life. And I just thought it was so shitty of this woman. And I said, so we can't cut them. You're not cutting them. She said, nope. And I just rolled up the window and drove off. It didn't say goodbye or anything, but boy, I wanted to go crazy. And those are character defects. And some of them, I think, are good. Like my ability to get out of the car and scream at this woman into submission has gotten me far in life. Not really. You know what I mean? Those are things that are hard to let go of, right? That having to be right. And I drove away. And my little friend said, she was so upset. She goes, I cannot believe that. I can't believe she's not going to be neighborly. And I said, let's just let it go. She said, no, nothing we can do about it. Let's just let it go. And I couldn't believe, I was driving thinking the recovery time on that was pretty fast for me, right? So a lot of these things I haven't wanted to let go of. And I've asked God, please help me be willing to let these go. Because these are not assets. They feel like assets to me, but they're not, because it would have really ruined my friend's day if I would have caused a scene. And it would have ruined that woman's day for sure. But you know what I mean? I have to be willing to ask God for help. And I said later, you know, because she brought it up again later on the way back, she said, I can't believe she's not going to cut her hedges as we agreed. And she won't even let me cut them if I pay for it. And it's a lot of money, you know, it's like $400 or $500. And I said, just let it go. I said, something's going to happen. She's either going to come over and apologize for her poor behavior, or I don't know, something will happen. It'll be taken care of. Like, we don't have to do anything. And you know, that's such new thinking for me. And so if you're stuck on this, kind of holding on to some of these character defects, I understand that. Just ask God to help you someday, be willing. And I guarantee it will happen. It will just happen automatically. You'll just let these things go. Because you realize it's not helpful to you or to anyone else. You think they're survival tools, or you think they're, how did they refer to them here? Well, they're enjoyment, right? And there's an enjoyment in thinking I'm never wrong. I'm clinging to my pride, but they get in the way of my everyday living. That's why I gotta let them go. So like today, I would not have been able to be useful if I would have got out of the car and lost my mind, because I was gonna take care of my friend. You know, I always have good motives. You know what I mean? But it would have been all bad. And I couldn't have taken her, I probably couldn't have taken her to the pharmacy to get her medicine. And she had a couple other stops she wanted to do. She wanted to get her little nails and toes done. There's no way I could have dropped her off to do that. So it helps me to just ask God for some help here. And even if I don't want to get rid of them, ask God to help me be willing in the future to be open-minded enough to do something different. Have a great day, you guys. Bye.